Welcome everyone to the Package Group weekly retrospective for May the 6th, 2021. And Tim has the first item in what went not so well.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah, I've been conflicted lately because for the past 2 years, one of my values at GitLab has been making sure that I responded to as many people as possible in the issues, to community members. And it's tough to scale that now that we have so many users using the product every day and so many questions, and not all the questions are from customers or even issues. And I'm realizing that I need to spend my time on higher leverage items, like thinking about user research and talking to customers, and that responding to every single question in an issue may not be scalable. And so actually, Steve and I were talking about that yesterday. Dan and I spoke about it in our sync as well. And yeah, I think that that's something that I'm trying to come to terms with, and trying to realize, like, when is it good? When should you respond? When should you not? And then also, like, I guess I'm excited because on the positive side to start to think about spending more time on higher leverage tasks. So overall felt like a challenge, but a little bit of a mental breakthrough. Now I just need to come to terms with it. On to David.
This week I spent a fair amount of time trying to debug on what I thought was an issue on cleanup policies. And actually it was just a small bug in a really specific container image, or the cleanup associated with that image. And so we're fine for the cleanup policies. On the bright side, I didn't do anything to solve that image. The policy ran again this week and it just unblocked it. So that was good to have that behavior. On to Nico. I'm not sure if it is. No, he's not here. So I will read it for him. Nico says, I was under the impression I needed to wait for some backend work, but I could have started the front end already. Some time lost there. Also, I feel really drained recently. My speed is impacted. On to Steve.
This week, I've had some tired days just due to lack of sleep from some outside work reasons. And I got stuck for a while trying to debug this test that was failing. And it ended up being that there's an error being rerouted into a different error. And that made it very difficult to follow what actually was causing the failure. Over to Ian.
Yeah, this week, splitting my attention between travel and all the different work initiatives that I've been working on has been manageable. It's just been really exhausting, and I wasn't quite expecting that. So it made this week kind of challenging. I also had a lack of really genuine focus time, which has made getting in the zone to do that high level vision work, which is what's on my plate right now for a package, really difficult and really slow. So I'm feeling kind of behind on that. Over to Haley.
So this week started slow, and now it is not slow because of secret reasons. On to Dan.
Yeah, and I've got a lot of priorities, things going along, like a lot of us do, and so it's just difficult to set priority when a lot of things feel priority. And I'm still not feeling super well. And thanks for, I'll be looking into this next week. I've got my next follow up on that, and thanks for everyone's support on it. Over to you, Sophia.
It's my first package weekly retro, so I'm glad to finally be attending one. Yay. I'm adding tests for container registry. This is for the self-managed users, so Omnibus and registry. What seems to be such a simple test actually is very complicated the way we are using in our framework, end-to-end test framework to do orchestration. So this is really getting frustrating. And also, I have so many things to do, and I have pipeline triage DRI for EMEA. So this is going to take my whole week again. Sigh. What went well? Tim.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't think that we've solved it, but I'm glad to see that we're talking so much about how to scale community contribution workflows. I feel like it helped me with what I mentioned earlier, and I think we could get to something that makes sense for everybody. On to David.
Yeah, so the issue about scaling cleanup policies, the last part is still under review. And from that review, many ideas came up about evolutions we could have for cleanup policies, making them more efficient, resilient, and also fair, because you don't want a container image with a lot of tags to take the whole resources of the backend. I don't have issues yet for those evolutions, so there are no links yet. On to Nico, who is not there, so I will read it for him. The Maven GraphQL MR went in almost without any feedback. Also, after looking at the GraphQL work with Steve, we realized that the generic package type is already done. So one more check mark ticked. Over to Steve.
I've started to put some time and schedule constraints that we've kind of discussed over the past with regards to community contribution reviews. I've started to put them into practice, and it actually is like very quickly I'm seeing my schedule open up again, and it's just a matter of mentally getting past the need and desire to always check off all of my to-dos. This week has also been super productive so far. I've made a lot of progress on deliverables and had some great async conversations, and I've felt very helpful in some of the reviews I've given. Over to Haley.
Yeah, so it's been interesting to work on Lola, and it's been a great change of pace, and I feel like I'm helping. I also did a tricky review for the upstream Docker, distribution, and I feel very maintainerific. I feel like I was pointing out good stuff. On to Ian.
This week, I am coming out the other side. A lot of the kickoff activities and the sunset activities for several of the things I had going on went really smoothly. This means that next week I'll have a much more normal, just a couple things kind of project workload. I'm very excited for that focus time. Over to Dan.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. Looks like we're making some really good progress on hiring, which I'm pretty excited about. So it's been my top priority for a little while, so it feels good to be making some good progress there. And over to Sophia.
Thank you for the support last Friday when doing the risk mapping demo and your suggestions. I have been working on evangelizing it, so we're slowly getting started. And yeah, that's pretty good. Getting really good feedback so far from other teams. Yay. Mem that expresses your feels for the week.
Yeah, this part of our retro we usually do without the camera rolling. So just want to say thank you to everyone for following along at home, and I hope everyone, no worries, Sophia, don't worry about it. Thanks for following along at home, and I hope everyone has a great rest of their day.